It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears up!
It's Tom for the show that brings the magic right to... What's up, everybody? Ears Up Podcast. We are here with the great Tom Ameen. Tom Ameen is back. He decided to come back on the show. I keep bugging him. Like, Tom, look, just come on and do the show. He's like, please, dude. I have way more important things to do than talk to you schmucks about music. But he ran out of stuff to do.
Well, there you go. These are the best shows with Tom.
Yeah, that's right.
I love when Tom's here.
Tom, what's up, man?
So sweet. Thank you for having me. I love coming on the show. I actually really do.
Yeah.
I love the show. I was telling you pre-show, I listen every week. I never miss an episode. So I love the show. Thanks for having me on again. It's always good to talk to you guys. Always.
Yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely, man. I look forward to shows when you come on. I like it when you're cranking out albums. You're a prolific artist.
Well, yeah, I wish, but thank you. I try to be, but you know how that goes. But no, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do this kind of music. It's always fun.
Yeah,
we have a listener in the chat room right now who is putting their child to sleep to your music.
Thank you. Cool. I wonder what album they're listening to.
Yeah, what album, RGH? Cool. Normally I think that would be like an insult. But with the kind of music that you do, I think it's like a very big compliment.
It's what it's meant to do. It's meant to like put you to sleep, or like relax you.
See, here's why Tom's a genius. Okay, because everyone has the autoplay on like Spotify or whatever. So you make music that puts you to sleep, and then it just auto plays and keeps going down the tracks, and so you get all the listens.
There you go.
While you're asleep, doesn't matter.
It's perfect.
That's why I did it. Of course, that's why I did it.
So you can get 0.3 cents of a penny. There you go. You get that big Spotify check.
Yeah,
whatever it is, exactly. However much they stiff everybody for. That is a racket.
Though, because I like that. Even myself, sometimes when I just need a break, I'll put headphones on and just play an album or listen to some relaxing kind of music that I want to listen to. And you kind of just lay down on the couch and it just kind of, I don't know, it puts you in a different space. Mm-hmm. It's like a real relaxing thing. It's like a scrub for your mind. You know what I mean? Like a brain scrub or something for 30 minutes or whatever. But I enjoy doing that. So that's why I kind of like to do these albums that are in this vernacular. Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm a little off tonight. So, but to do that so that people can get a chance to just to relax. I have a lot of people write to me and tell me that they put their kids to sleep, but like their little babies or whatever, or the babies calm down. And when they hear the music, it relaxes them. I think it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. We tried to do that with Alice. There's I forget the company, but they take, popular music and set it to lullabies. It's like Rockaway Baby or Rock. It's something like that. And it's like they have a Bob Marley album and they have a Metallica, like, all this kind of stuff. But I liked it, I think, more than she did, just because I recognized it. And I think that's part of the draw. It's like cartoons for kids with adult jokes, where you sort of like, okay, both sets of people can get something out of it. Yeah. But she never really like sunk her teeth into music.
Okay.
Like that's that. Okay. I know. But it was a bummer because, you sort of like, okay, I'm going to get ready when this kid comes, we're going to have this whole bedtime routine and whatever. Mm-hmm. But she wants us to sing songs. So she likes the music, but if we sing it, and it's like, well,
and now it's gotten to the point where like, I don't know where I screwed up somewhere along the way. And it used to be like, like one or two songs, right? One or two, like, and they're usually Disney songs. And then somewhere along the line, I was like, oh, do you want an extra one tonight? So now there's an extra one.
Yeah, that's on the table. That's an option for her now.
Well, it's not even an option now. It's just like, what's your extra song tonight? And then and then there's the two. And then she's like, oh, but what about that one? And so then I sing that one. And then, oh, but what about that one? And, oh, just one more, please. And now it's like 7 songs. And I'm like, how did this happen?
Pushover, that's how.
And if I try and like skip one, she's like, oh, no, mommy, you forgot. You
can't do it. Kids know everything. They see everything. Yeah, exactly. They won't let you forget that.
No.
Alice's bedtime is really 5 o'clock, but Taryn, it takes her 3 hours to get out of there.
It feels that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be chatting with Tom here in a bit. And then after that, we have some Disney news to go over. Kind of a fair amount has happened. Okay. You know what I mean? This would normally be an in-depth week, but Jeremy's on vacation.
I'll be Jeremy.
You could be Jeremy. All right,
Oh, sure.
Oh, sure. You know, Petros, actually, we saw Jeremy the other night. So he's in town. He's in the Bay Area for a wedding.
He's in Frisco.
He's in Half Moon Bay.
Oh.
Not to dox him entirely, but yeah. And so we met up with him at the 21st Amendment in San Leandro, and he and his friend Libby were there. And then Terrence and Bev showed up, and Sam was there.
It was a whole reunion.
Mr. P and Linda was there.
We had listeners. Kara and Brian showed up.
There you go. Kara and Brian. Yeah, it was cool, man. It was neat. It was very unexpected, but it was a good time. And I tell you, I was concerned because it's me. But, we were outside. We had masks on, sort of, kind of. But we were outside. I felt the breeze. And like every couple of minutes, I would do a breeze check. I would just mentally go, all right, is it wind? Okay, it's wind. It's blowing away from me. That's fine. Okay, great. I'm not going to lean forward over the table. Okay, you got to maintain and like the tables outside, I sort of realized
they're huge.
They're kind of wide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not just like normal picnic tables, like 1.5 times.
It's like a double. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. I'm like, okay. So I felt relatively like cool, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out in 3 to 5 days.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I don't know. Very uncomfortable, but I had a great time. It was great seeing everybody. I basically just hugged Jeremy for like a full 30 seconds.
I know. I definitely did like
nice.
those hugs that are just a little too long. He definitely got 2 of those from me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, sweet. Okay, we're done now.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not.
That's right. I had a hold in my head. Like, it's no, you're going to leave the embrace. Never break off the embrace, especially not now. We haven't seen each other in like, 4 years?
I know. Well, and Bev actually texted me. I sent all these love texts afterwards once we got home. And I was
I didn't get one of those.
Well, I see you every minute of the day. Oh. So, and I was like, oh, it was so good to see you. And like Bev texted me today and she was like, I just can't stop thinking about it. It was so great to see you guys. Oh, that's nice. It was a good reunion.
Yeah, it was good. We were there for about 8 minutes.
No.
Well, no, because Terrence and Bev, they showed up traditionally late.
Of course they did.
I texted Bev. We'd been there for like half an hour, 45 minutes. I'm like, where are you? She goes, on my way. You live 45 minutes away. Yeah. So what does that mean? Yeah. And then she goes, on the freeway. Got it. Again, what does that actually mean? And then she sent me a picture of a freeway sign. It's like, you can't just tell me.
That would be too.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Friggin' Sherlock Holmes over here. Come on now.
No, it was a good time though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Tom, let's just get into your music, man. I don't do the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing later. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. So you have a new album coming out. It is called, it's out.
It is out now. Yes, it is. February 7th was the release date.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, just a couple days ago. Awesome.
And it's called Even Villains Have a Soft Side, right?
Yes, that right? is correct.
All right.
Is correct.
Ooh.
What's the concept? I mean, I can probably guess, but I want to hear it from you.
The concept is taking villain songs and trying to turn them around and see the softer side of these villains that we all love to hate in the Disney films. Their songs, I took their songs, the big ballads or big songs that they sang in the movies, turn them around a little bit to make them more chill, more contemplative, more relaxed, more meditative, to see what would this sound like if Scar sang his song this way. We have more sympathy for him. What happened to Ursula? What happens if we turn her song around and make it really ballady and cute and like meditative and just see how that turns out? So that's kind of the theme of the album. The villain songs rearranged for easy listening, but to sound contemplative and relaxed.
I like it. That's cool. Is that like if you change like a major key to a minor key like in a horror film, it's sort of off-putting?
You can do that.
But reverse, yeah.
Yes, you could change time signatures, which I've done. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can do to kind of give it that a whole different twist on the song.
Cool.
So, yeah.
How do you pick the songs for an album like this? I mean, are you sitting there listening to all the songs, or you sort of have an encyclopedic recall of songs anyway? So do you already know like I'll do that and that and that one?
It's kind of a little bit of both. I had definitely some songs in mind that I wanted to do. All the songs I chose were all of them except one were like songs that I chose that I really loved, that were personal to me, that I had an emotional connection with, either watching the movie in the theater for the first time when I was in my 20s, or hearing a song for the first time when I was a kid. And what I thought of Darth Vader as a kid, because Darth Vader scared the what out of me when I was a kid. I saw it, and he did. He was really scared. The music of John, that the march and everything. So I kind of chose songs that were like important to me and that I had some kind of influence on me. That's how I decided to go. And then I chose a few other ones that I wasn't as attached to, but I still loved them and wanted to include them on the album. And I did want to put a couple of theme park rides in there. So that's why those songs are in there, because I still think they're fun to do in this different way. And that's how I decided. That's how I came up with my song list.
Very cool. How long do you work on a concept like this before you start recording?
It's a good question. It could take, like a couple months, because you want to go through and I first write a big list of everything, like 20, 25 songs, right? Know, and then it's like, okay, I don't want to do this one. And then you start to play them on the piano. That's just what I do. And then I'm like, I don't like this one. No. Or this has potential. Let's put it in the maybe. And I just go through the songs and decide, what does this sound like? Do I like how this sounds? Would this fit, the concept that I'm trying to do? And that's how I choose the songs. And I have a story we'll talk about, but one of the songs on there almost didn't make it. I wasn't going to do it. And then I figured out a way to do it at the end. But that's just what I try to do. And some songs work, some don't. And then I just put them aside, to maybe do a different time for a different album. But I think all the songs that I chose really fit this concept well. So,
yeah.
Is there a science behind the number of songs that go onto an album?
You know what? I don't know, because I think if you're going to do like a whole album, you have to have like 10 songs. That's what but see, I'm old school. I don't know. A lot of the artists today just put out EPs. They just put out 5 songs. A lot of people just put out singles now. So I'm not sure. I think 10 songs at a minimum is good for an album. At 10, I think if you can go over that by 11 or 12, I think that's great. For me, that's what I like, but
that makes sense to me too. And so, like, of course, every millennial, when they were in high school, we were making mixtapes and using Napster and doing all of that.
Whoa.
I was definitely...
I'm sure you were writing checks to the artist. Here's 5 cents every time I listen to the song. Yeah.
And for me, there was always like, I don't know, I was a little weird, but I always make like, for my playlists, and I do it now, like there's kind of like you kind of start at a certain level, then you kind of go up, and then you kind of come back down, and then you go back up, and then you come back down. Is there any of that kind of like mentality, I guess, when it goes into creating an album list?
There is, because you don't want to have like 5 fast songs and then 3 slow songs in a row. You do have to kind of even that a bit, even though this album's generally slower. There's no fast, pumpy songs in it, but you want to have a flow to the album. So like you'll put, generally it's like 2, this is the old way it was thinking. It was always like 2 fast songs. And your 3rd song should always be a ballad on the album. Like that's what it was. 4th song, average song, 5th song. You want to put, and then I try to put like the best songs, not the best ones, but the ones that I want to hear, people to hear, like towards the beginning. I try to do that as well. But now, and you know what, I got to say though, in today's age with Spotify and stuff, you just go to whatever song you want. Not a lot of people listen in a row anymore, like to a whole album. Yeah. They'll just pick, I want song 7 and 10, and they'll put it on a playlist, and that's it. So my concepts, I feel probably old and outdated, because, this is from the 80s and 90s and stuff. Right. So I'm not sure now what the rules are, but generally when I was learning about music and stuff, it was always like, fast, medium songs beginning. 3rd song is a ballad. 4th song is medium. Like you go through this little pattern.
Well, and it's so funny because you're talking about like that actually, and I don't know if it's me like rebelling against how people do it now, but I've recently, like over the past couple of months, I've started only listening to albums that I used to listen to. Really? So like I start at 1. And I just listen to the album through.
Wow, you're not like other girls, Taryn. Jeez.
And like I've been doing this, and I've been really enjoying it. And I've always been a big soundtrack person, so I've been seeking out soundtracks. And like, I don't know, it's been really kind of fun to listen to the music the way I think the artist wanted it to be heard.
Yeah, well, at least the record producer. I'm sort of doing that too. I started listening to a Fleetwood Mac album. I like, oh, all right, let's check it out, right? Because, everyone knows a couple Fleetwood Mac songs, at least by ear, if not by name. And you listen to an album, you're like, it's an experience, especially in the 70s, 80s or whatever. Those were designed for a listening experience.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
journey.
mean? Yeah,
right.
no,
it's a journey.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
it's Fleetwood Mac. Yeah,
my bad.
Which, by the way, I always heard that there's an argument between which is Fleetwood Mac's best album and worst album, and Tusk is usually the worst one. It's pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah. It's not good. It's very not good. It's avant-garde, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's sort of like medieval, lute play. It just, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. But Rumors is pretty good.
Rumors is good. That's a good one.
It really is. And it's interesting because it feels like nowadays album design, sort of what you guys were saying, it isn't really so much of an issue anymore. There's not an argument about what song comes first and what song comes second because it doesn't matter so much because, like you were saying, Tom, it's just people are just going to jump to whatever they want. Is that a lost art, do you think, of designing an album for a listening experience? Do you focus on that, or is it sort of like a rule that you sort of stick to, but not really? It doesn't have as much impact anymore.
When I'm doing a whole album, I still stick to that rule because that's the point of an album for me. Yeah. Listening from beginning to end, what's the journey I'm taking with this music or this artist? But I understand, though, that we're in a different time now and people will just pick and choose what songs they want. And I understand that. Does it
bug you? Does it bother you?
It's okay. Not so much. I mean, I get it. I've done it too myself. If I'm on Spotify or I'm very old school. I still buy music and I have MP3s on my phone. So because I don't have unlimited data, so I don't stream as much. So I like to have the songs on my phone because I want to choose what I want. Now I know you can do this with Spotify and everything, but if I go under a tunnel, if there's a spot in LA that's not good, if I'm on an airplane, I can't stream. So I always download. I feel like I'm supporting the artist more when I buy it on iTunes because they get more money, than the stream. So I have a bunch of CDs and MP3s that I've downloaded through the years, and I don't mind doing that because I love it. And then I'll create playlists if I want, or I'll pick and choose songs from albums on iTunes I want to download. But if it's an artist I really love, I'll download the whole album.
Yeah.
They just want to see what they say,
Here's what I appreciate about the streaming thing. I mean, it did that. The iPod really changed how people listen to music, and I know that's not necessarily a hot take, but it really upended how people just consume media at all. You know what I mean? The binge watching. I mean that was Netflix, but Netflix was iPod came first, right? And it just immediate access to all content. Right. And I think that sort of, translates now through how we consume media now. But I entirely lost my train of thought. Entirely just blew my own mind.
Wow. That's
amazing. You got to get your brain fixed up.
Getting my brain fixed because I think I have a hat on.
Well, the flip side to all that, though, the really good stuff is, though, that anyone can, I mean, I guess it's good or bad, but anyone can put music out and get it to an audience. Like for me, as an independent artist, I don't have labels, I don't have managers, I don't have any of that. But through the wonder of the internet and through podcasts like yourself, I can get the music out there and hopefully people will listen to it. But without the internet, that would be really hard to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Really you'd be one of those people that waiting for the train and hey, you want to try my
busking?
I'd be busking. Yeah, that's right. I would be.
God, what was my point, Tom? It was an amazing point, and it would have you would have loved it. You would have celebrated my huge brain for thinking of such a wondrous thing. It was about changing the way we consume content, Taryn.
Oh yeah,
and then it was about some salient point. Whatever. Who cares? I'll think about it midnight.
Think about it, Tom. And then do it.
Yeah, then I'll just record.
Send me an email saying this is what it was.
Yeah, I'll have AI just sample your voice, and we'll just put it in. It'll be totally fine.
Are you going to use the latest Chat GPT thing to be send Tom an email about?
Dude, I love that thing. I use it all the time. Not all the time, but I played around with it.
Times it was fun. It was kind of fun.
It is, but it's weird. And people have been getting it to write music.
Then I saw that on, I watched some, I do follow tech people on YouTube. So like Marquez did like a thing, MKBHD, he's a big tech guy. He did a thing with that. I'm like, this is really wild, but it does like words that aren't real words. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like consonants and vowels put together, but it sounded pretty good. I mean, it sounded listenable.
Well, that's the thing. It's funny that you say that because
it's just learning. That's the thing. This is just the preschool brain.
Wow.
Wait, I heard version 4. That's version 3. Version 4 is supposed to be like, leap years ahead.
Skynet is coming, and I don't know if this is good.
We're training it. Every time you use ChatGPT, you're training it. Go ahead, Taryn. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. I was just gonna say, like, along the same lines, like that. It's not exactly correct, but it's something. Is like on TikTok, there's this woman who asks the ChatGPT for crochet patterns of little animal creatures, and it spits them out. And so she does them exactly as, like, can I get a monkey holding a banana in a crochet pattern? And it gives it to her, and she does it exactly as it is, and like it's off. So it's like a monkey with like one leg, and she's like, this is weird. And she started putting them on TikTok, and people loved them, and they started buying them. And so now she's selling these weird creatures that like are just mistakes, but like it's all because of AI. Like, it's so bizarre. Our world is weird.
It is weird. God, I'm still trying.
It's the internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's the iPad, right? The ChatGPT is not the iPad, iPod. ChatGPT is the first step of that next generation of whatever's coming. When I got my first iPod, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is music. I didn't think it would be a phone. And then all of the internet and everything I could write a whole book on my phone if I wanted, right? And that's all it stems from the iPod, which is just wild. And so it's like, then now we have ChatGPT. Where is that going? It's actually a little scary.
I know.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, it's taking, I use it sometimes for like creative ideas where you can get it to sort of spitball ideas out. But I see people on TikTok going, what you can do to create easy content is you take someone's YouTube video that you like, put it in this AI, and it'll write a transcript of it. Then you take the transcript, feed it into ChatGPT, and have them summarize it. Then you filter it through another AI to have them write it out, and then that's your script for a YouTube video. And I'm like, that's not morally okay.
Well, and that's almost as much work as just writing it yourself.
It's just doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably. Yeah, it's weird, man. Now let's listen to some music, Tom. What do you think?
I would love to.
Sounds good.
Let's get in some, especially because I'm still thinking about my point that I lost. And I don't want to do it anymore.
With that now till the end of the show.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I don't get over things easily. All right, here's one. Taryn, I want you to guess what this is.
Okay,
right,
let's do it.
All right.
It's Star Wars.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. I was having a hard time even like thinking. That's pretty easy for me though.
It's like gotta be the most famous, scale, I guess, or whatever, the dun 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 dun, that that little
the little
transition
down. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but what was interesting
easily identifiable.
Listening to it, you say that, but it did take me that long to get it because I kept thinking Haunted Mansion.
Well, in In fairness to Taryn, though, Jason dropped it in a part. There was an instrumental that I wrote. See, I put in my little instrumentals before the theme again. Mm-hmm. So in your defense, once you started to hear that main theme, it was I could see you. Oh, this is Star Wars. I could see it happening.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I picked that part. And that's what I wanted to ask you. This part right here. That's you. You wrote that. That's your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's me.
I just love it so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So how do you write? I mean, some people would say that you had giant cojones to like add on to the Imperial March like that. Well, but if you aren't familiar with the song as, intensely as, like Taryn, but as like Dyed in the Wool, Star Wars, whatever, right? Like you recognize, I can smell that song coming, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know that it's different. And in fact, I was listening to it, I'm going, where in the song is that? Because it doesn't stick out. Precisely that reason. It melds so perfectly. It matches everything. How do you figure that out?
That's what you try to do, because you want to put, as a musician or artist, your own inflection into it, your own take. Otherwise, I would just be doing, and not that this is bad, but I would just be doing piano arrangements of the songs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I would just be doing straight black and white piano interpretation. And I don't want to do that. I want these songs to be different. I want to put a spin on them where I pay like homage to the original, of course, but put a little different spin on it. And some of that includes, like, you have to write your own introductions, writing your own interludes, because if you notice on that song, the middle part of the march, I did not put in there. I put in my own instrumental because the middle part of the song didn't work well for me. And I didn't like it. And I thought, okay, for this to meld together better, I'm going to put like a little instrumental in there, like a different one. And my hope was that just it added to the piece. You know what I mean? That's all I hope that it does. And it kind of melds it all together. So it's a little bit of a surprise to the listener. And that song, I turned it into a waltz. So that's why I needed to have those melodies coming, because the song's originally in 4/4 timing, which is what standard pop music is. Most music is in 4/4 time. But when you turn it into 3/4, you're only counting 3 beats every time. It makes it like a waltzy kind of feel. And that's what I wanted for Darth Vader's theme, to make it more contemplative.
And it works. The music you wrote is that bridge between the recognizable version and, between the 2 times that you played in the song.
Yeah. And the bridge, John Williams' bridge, is like bum, 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 bum. And I was trying to do that before time. I'm like, you know what? This just isn't working. It just doesn't feel right to me. I just couldn't. I'm like, let me just do a little instrumental here to kind of segue everything together. And that's why I did that.
That's great.
John Williams is my idol. I've said this many times. Like, he is the whole reason I'm in music, is because of him. So I'm not I'm not rearranging a song to spite him. You know what I mean? Like,
to be like, hey, John, why didn't you do it this way, you moron?
Right. It's just it's a homage to him, because I love him so much. And I just wanted to make this song reflective, like you could just sit back and relax. And who would normally think that about Darth Vader's Imperial March? It's this really strict, military, boom, in your face thing.
Yeah, it has very sharp lines, sharp edges. Yeah. It cranks you, and it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be soft, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's not supposed to relax you,
but it's still and and I don't know if it's just the familiarity with that song. It's not relaxing to me, but it's soft and contemplative.
Okay,
it's almost like an uncomfortable, like uneasy foreboding.
Okay, I'll take that. That's
okay,
good.
yeah, and I mean it in it's a very cool, because it's every time I hear that arrangement, I picture him just walking briskly down with his cape flowing, and it's like I can't, right. So I can't get that out of my head, and I'm just sort of like Pavlov's dog, I guess, when I hear that arrangement. It's just like it takes me back to the scene in the movie.
Takes you there.
Yeah, okay. but the way you did it, I think is very impactful, because it's those, like sort of like an indie horror thriller or whatever, where like it's like a foggy forest and the person's walking through, or maybe like after a thing happened, right? And it's just the camera's just taking basically B-roll of like a deer eating grass, but in the fog, and you know something weird has happened, and you're sort of settling in on it. It's like that kind of blanket of emotion.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it definitely changed the emotion for me. Absolutely.
Okay, all right, I'll take it.
I liked it.
Nice.
I liked it.
Cool.
Okay, you know what? This one I'm not familiar with. Taryn, I want you to guess what this one is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Any guesses?
No, but I love it.
Bill of Sale.
Bill of Sale.
I'm not familiar with it, Tom, and I sort of feel embarrassed about it. What is that from?
That is from Pete's Dragon.
Oh,
Pete's
that's
Dragon
right.
from the 70s. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that movie in 30 years.
It's from Pete's Dragon, and it's a movie that I loved growing up because I was a kid in the 70s. So my parents took us to that movie. I've always loved the music from Pete's Dragon. I love the movie, and I've said this on other interviews I've been on. Like, people love that movie or hate it, or they just don't know it. I happen to love it because it's part of my childhood. But the music's really great, and that's a song where the villains in that movie are his adopted family that are like really horrible people. Okay. And they basically treat Elliot or Pete as a slave. So Pete's the little boy, and the boy ends up running away because he's mistreated. And he goes to this town where Helen Reddy's character like takes after him, but he's got this invisible dragon that's his friend that's trying to help him out. And it was a live action movie, but the dragon was cartooned in. It was like a Mary Poppins kind of thing. So anyway, this song happens when they find out where Pete is and they come to get him. And it's called Bill of Sale because they actually have a bill, like he's a slave, like they bought him. Oh. And they're saying, we have a bill of sale right here. This is our kid. We paid for him. And Helen Reddy's trying to say, you can't have him. You don't love him, blah, blah. But anyway, I know. Talk about
such a Disney movie.
Today? I know. Well, the beginning, it was a toss-up between Bill of Sale or The Happiest Home in the Hills, which is the first song in the movie. And it's this family talking about, because Pete's trying to run away and they're searching the woods trying to find him. And the words in that song are like, we're going to tie him to a railroad track and let the train roll, like cut off his limbs. Like it is crazy. It's crazy. But as a kid, like they do it in a slapsticky kind of way that you don't really think about the words. As a kid, I didn't know, but I thought Bill of Sale is such a great, like the song is so pretty when it's slowed down. Like it sounds really nice. So that's why I thought I would put that on the album to see. And if you're a fan of Pete's Dragon, you'll know what it is. You know, of course. But,
right. Yeah, I thought it was great. It was a beautiful song.
Oh, yeah. There's like the sort of in the middle, but towards the end of the clip that you played, there's like I don't know anything about music. I just know how to hear it. So it's like that. Like, I don't know. There's like a lot of keys. That part. Yeah, I love that.
The runs up, like the runs. And that's the part, Helen Reddy's part. And that's why I wanted to make that part really pretty, because she's the one that's trying to defend Pete and saying, you're not going to take him. I'm not going to let you take him. And I thought it just flowed really well together. And that's why I decided to put that one on the record.
Nice. I like it. All right, let's go a little something a little more familiar for Taryn.
Okay.
Got it, Taryn?
No. Should I already have it?
No.
Now you should have it. You should already have it. If you don't, you're fired. Not now. Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
I like the little hitch in there. The dude, you know?
It's so different, but then so familiar.
Yeah, I let this one play a little bit longer when I clipped it, because it's one of the more unique, ones that I chose, because it's so different yet the same.
Because it's
familiar,
it's
right?
Pirate's Life for me.
It's Pirate. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm not making it up in my head.
We
haven't said it out loud yet. So
yeah.
Pirate's Life for me.
Fantastic. So you did the same thing with the Imperial Marches. You wrote some music for
intro.
it?
Yeah, because I wanted this to be like a pop song. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to kind of envision. Instead of the yo, bum, bum, this really rickety fun, which is the fun song, I wanted to slow it down and make it more of a pop ballad. That's why I wrote that fun piano intro that you might hear on the radio or something, And then I did the song, but I let the song breathe a little bit. You'll notice, like, when I do the theme, A Pirate's Life for Me, there's another couple extra measures. I let it breathe. Mm-hmm. Like, we're loved by our moms and our dads, you hope. Like, I hold that a little bit. Mm-hmm. It just creates this different feeling for the song, but it makes it so chill and so relaxed. And it's like, wow, this sounds really nice. I really like how this one turned out. It's the only song on the album that I used a click track on, because I wanted to be really concise with the rhythm. A lot of times in piano music, I won't use a click because I want to be able to slow down, speed up where I can, and that kind of thing. But this one, I used a click track, which means it kept me on the beat the whole time, because I kind of just wanted it to be like a pop ballad. So that's what I envisioned when I was doing this one.
It's great.
I really like how you said you took that beat and you slowed it down slightly, because it tricked me, because I was like, oh yeah, I know. Do I? I was like, I don't know. I mean, I think I know, but I don't. Am I wrong? Like,
and it had that little hint of the chorus, and then the familiar, and then it went back into Tom's, and it's like, yeah, I think, okay, sure, yeah, I think, I don't know.
And some of those lengths I put in, because I put in what we call suspensions in music. We're suspending from one chord to the next one. They're called like 4/3 suspensions, and that it gives it a little nice pull. And that's why I give it a little space to breathe there as well. I thought it was kind of cool.
What I do like about the way you arrange music is that the way you do it catches you. It sort of like catches your attention because of those little hiccups, because of little hitches or the little flares that you put on it. You can be sitting there sort of vibing out, and something's different. The arrangement's different. Something changes, a little tone here, or a piece of familiarity there. And you're like, what? You're like drawn back in. Mm-hmm. It's not just music to just ignore. It's not background music. You do you do sort of make the listener become engaged, but not in an overly aggressive manner, or in like a what the fuck? What the heck am I doing? You know what I mean? It's like you just
I get it.
You sort of you get us. You get us.
That's what I'm trying to do when I do these albums, because I want the familiarity, but I want it to be different. Mm-hmm. I want to bring something different to the table. That's why. That's what I love when artists do that. Artists that I love do that. They'll put a spin on a song or whatever. That's what I love. I love that kind of artistry. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Where it's familiar, but it's a different kind of arrangement. And you're like, yeah, I like this, and kind of just chilling out with it.
Yeah, it definitely works. I have two more I want to run through real fast.
Sure.
And then we'll let you go, Tom. Right?
That's fine.
This I had to play this one. This is the first track off your album, Taryn.
Okay,
you ready?
Yes.
I'm going like, how can she not know this? But I already know it.
I think I know it.
I think she knows it.
Is it Poor Unfortunate Souls?
Okay. Yes.
Because it was like, I think I know it, but am I wrong?
This part is great. So good. A good choice.
I like that progression. Yeah, it was fun.
What's wild to me about musicians is that you guys can take something and just play with it and see if it works and sort of deconstruct it and add to it and whatever. And it's like, I don't know what that feels like. You know what I mean? Like it's like if I just took a sentence and was like, I don't know, man. Here, what am I going to say here? Like, shipwreck on the rocks, shipwreck on the rocks, shipwreck on the, you know what I mean? That, and they go, oh, that doesn't really sound good. How am I going to say? That's the only thing I can really do. But like, I don't know. It's insane to me. It's like a whole nother, part of your brain like an organ in your brain that just a gland that secretes the ability to be able to do that.
Yes, I agree.
It's wild.
I think that with a lot of art can be learned. And I know that music can be learned, but not for me.
Right, yeah. It can't be learned by me in any capacity at all.
So when I hear it and when I hear stuff like this, it's just mind blowing for me because I can't even begin to understand how you do it. I can do other things. I can see paintings. I can see, books and how they're written. And I feel like, oh, okay, I could potentially achieve something like that one day.
I love seeing books.
Music, it's so out of my element that it feels so amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
I totally get, I feel that way about certain things that I admire as well too, right? That I could never do in a zillion years. So I totally get that. Also too, it's a really amazing statement to these songwriters that write this stuff, because to be able to take these songs and then rework them, slow them down, you have to have a really good, strong melody to be able to do that. So it's a homage to, because these writers are so gifted. And I just like Alan Menken and Elton John and all these people that I've covered these songs. They're so gifted at what they do. And the music is so amazing. I'm inspired when I play it. See that? And which I think comes through in the songs, because that's why I pick songs I love, because I'm so inspired when I'm doing this music. So it's a good tribute to them as well, because these songs are incredible. They really are.
Yeah, absolutely. The last one we have is one song I think that, I don't know if I want to call it underrated, because I feel it's a little, I don't know, whatever, exaggerated, but it's a great song. It's a great arrangement. It's one of my favorite songs from this movie. Let's see, Taryn, let's play the game. Okay, you ready? Let's go.
I could do this all night.
I'll let this one go a little bit too.
I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. I can't think of... Mother Knows Best.
Yeah. Yeah, I let that go a little long too, because it's so good. The buildup is so good.
Yeah.
And then that in crescendo, what is the intense playing or whatever?
Where it gets it swells for just a little bit, which is what I wanted.
Yeah, in the waveform, it was like, I'm like, okay, that's like
down.
Yeah. It's good. It was such a beautiful arrangement.
Thank you. This song almost didn't make it. This was the one that I didn't have for the album, because I wanted to do the whole song of Mother Knows Best, the whole song, but it's a very talky song. Like, she talks a lot of the song.
Yeah.
And this is one of the songs where I downloaded the sheet music because I want to see what was going on. A lot of stuff I can do by ear, but this one I really wanted to look at it, see the timing, all that kind of stuff. And as I was playing through it, I was like, oh gosh, this isn't going to work because so much of it is talky. I can copy the melody and just keep doing the melody over and over, which is fine. But I'm like, I don't know. I was like, you know what? I'm going to save it for a different album. I put it aside. Then I completed all 10 songs. I was going to end the album with the Grim Grinning Ghosts one. Then I thought, you know what? Let me come back to Mother Knows Best. So I did just a little arrangement. This is only like a minute and a half. It just ends the album with a little like, almost like a period at the end of a sentence. It's only like a 90-second piece. That's all I did was just one verse all the way through. I thought this is such a cool way to end this concept of villains having a soft side, ending with this beautiful, soft ballad from the mother, who's a total, whack job and Tangled.
Yeah.
I mean, she's great. She's a great villain, but like she's, kidnaps basically, Rapunzel, and she brainwashes her. And we know the story. But I thought it would be cool to slow this down and make her a really compassionate mom. Like you feel for this mother, what was her name? I can't remember her name.
Mother Gothel.
Mother Gothel, yeah. So you kind of feel for her with this arrangement. But I thought it was a really cool way to end the album. That's why I just said, let's just do a minute and a half of it and be done, And I thought it was really cool.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
I like your thought process on ending the album with it too. I think that's kind of cool. And it's there's something a little bit eerie about it. It's like after all this villainous, beautiful music, it's like, well, Mother knows best.
Mother knows best. Don't forget.
Yeah. And also large bugs. Yeah, it's a cool song. I really like that song. It's very catchy. And yeah, it is very wordy. It's very she raps basically.
Yeah, when she's singing. It's a great song in the movie. I mean, I love the music of Tangled. And I think you're right. It was an underrated movie because I thought the movie was so well done. I liked it better than Frozen. I mean, when I saw both of them, I love Tangled. I know your thoughts on Frozen. I know.
Yeah,
I know. But
I mean, even aside from the music, it's just the story was sort of like, I don't care. I don't know. Yeah. It's almost too empowering, if that is okay to say these days.
It's not.
There's hardly any good music. There's no ballad in that one. There's no ballad. But anyway, I love Tangled. I thought it was great. The music's great. Cool. So that's why I thought, well, what a nice way to end this with the song from the mom.
Yeah, it's awesome.
In Tangled. So
love it.
Yeah. Even villains have a soft side. Tom, what's the best way to get this album and support you at the same time?
It is anywhere you want to stream or buy music. It's on Spotify, Amazon, like Google, YouTube Music, iTunes. It's on all of those platforms. You can just stream it if you want. You could buy it. And if you go to my website, tomameenmusic.com, there's a link there on the main page. It'll link you to any of those services that you want, or you can just search for it online. Just Tom Ameen, Even Villains Have a Soft Side. It'll pop up.
Nice.
It'll come up.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you spending time with us tonight, Tom, and sharing your music with us, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Always a pleasure, you guys. So good to see both of you. And hopefully one of these days I'll get to meet you in person.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
One of these days, right?
One of these days.
Absolutely. You bet on it. You bet on it. If we're coming down, we're letting you know.
Absolutely.
Oh, let me know.
100%.
And if I come up there, I'll let you know for sure.
Yes.
Please do. Please do. All right, Tom. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to take a quick break, everybody. We'll be right back here on EarzUp Podcast. Don't go away.
And now, back to the show that's more fun than waiting in line for Peter Pan on a hot August Anaheim day. Ears Up.
There you go. What's up, everybody? Man, so I got this new lighting in the studio, and it does not make my jawline. It doesn't do my jawline or my double chin any favors.
I think you need.
I don't like it.
It needs to be softer, or because you look brighter in person than you do.
Softer, you think?
Well, no, like it's bluish.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good. I didn't really have a chance to dial it in.
But it also needs to be brighter.
It needs to be brighter and less blue. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how to do that. That's not how you do it. You got to go down like that. What do you think of that?
It's a little better.
All right. Yeah, but like it just, it gets this thing underneath here, whatever this is, the old man waddle.
You need it up higher. You're coming from down below, so you're getting...
I don't know, man.
You want
maybe.
it to shadow your jawline, not show your whole jawline.
Like that. Well, actually, it's over here, though. That's the thing. Where this is the light getting my... Anyway, whatever. No one needs to know about this, but I don't like it. I'm going to start wearing a mask. I wear a hood. Wear a hood, Taryn. Here it is.
Don't put... What are we doing?
just going to be me.
That's you?
Yeah.
It's going to sound great.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Oh, actually, it looks just like you. What are you going to?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a mask soon. So I'm holding up my Yoda backpack for people who can't really see. Yeah, so I was trying to find the Sully, I just want to apologize in advance. Trying to find your read. Can't find it because my internet doesn't want to work with my email. But anyway, in short, go to 21stamendment.com, 21st-amendment.com and find out where you can find their latest beers, like the Brew Free or Die Cold IPA. It's Brew Free or Die Cold IPA, everybody. But I'm teasing Taryn. There was all over the 21st Amendment in San Leandro the other day. I had the El Sully, which you can never go wrong with El Sully, and also the Coaster Pills.
I had both of those, and then I also had a Hell or High pomegranate, which was delicious.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
And pink. Oh, it's so pretty.
The Fireside Chat is apparently still out, at least in San Leandro, and Jeremy had one of those. He was really looking forward to it, and he goes, it was so delicious. And you're darn tootin', buddy.
It's a good time there. And also, if you're in town and you can go to the San Leandro, they have cheese curds. And
dude, so Sully is a big cheese curd head. He loves cheese curds. He spent a lot of time in the Midwest doing some partner brewing, as he would say, at another brewery there. And he got hooked on cheese curds like we all would. But not all cheese curds are made the same. So the cheese curds he likes are like, they're a little more dense. They're squeaky.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And he seriously went on like a 2-year sabbatical, not really sabbatical, but a journey, a walkabout to try to find the best cheese curds. And I think he did it. Like the cheese curds at the 2-1-A are very good. They're too good.
They're too good. And you get so many of them.
Yeah.
I had only had them at the San Francisco brewery before, and we don't make it out to San Francisco all that often. And so it was so exciting to find out that they were also in San Leandro now. So
yeah, they're good. They're definitely good.
Excitement.
So check that out. Also, if you're planning on going to the parks anytime soon, Concierge. Sorry, I'm pushing all the plugs here now, so I apologize. But concierge.com. Go to the parks today. Eric would be here, but he is high on no. He had his back surgery, and he's like, no, he's after I'm done taking a nap. The only thing I want to do is take another nap.
Oof.
So I get that, and that's fine. Bev is also not here because she had tooth prep for root canal.
Oof.
2 crowns replaced today.
Jeez.
So she's a big mess. Eric is a big mess. And
hey, if you don't go to the dentist, you don't have dental problems.
This is true. Yeah, I don't think Beverly has ever been to the dentist. No, I mean, she has, but I mean, that's the problem, man. During the pandemic so far, you sort of avoid those things. Like we haven't been to the dentist during this pandemic, and I don't know when we'll. I mean, soon. We got to go soon.
Yeah, this is the longest I've ever not been to a dentist.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's very scary.
Yeah, but anyway, concierge.com. They will help plan your trip for you. They will make your trip the best trip that it can be because you don't have to do anything. They will do everything. I mean, you have to go and stand in line. Can you imagine? That should be a thing, concierge. Pay attention when you guys listen to this, concierge. But
to also take the vacation?
Take the vacation. No, not take the vacation. Have somebody go with the customer, guest, whatever concierge calls them, and wait in line for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Like, go ahead and wait in line for that line, and then they'll text you 5 minutes before they get to the front of the line. You can cut the whole line, and the concierge person steps
so basically,
out.
You just have your own executive assistant.
Basically,
your
PA.
What
do you think of that? I think it's great.
I mean,
it's great service.
Sure.
Yeah. So they will do that for you for free, you guys.
Order me food.
Yeah.
Order me a beer.
Yeah. Enjoy this for me. Put my arms up on the roller coaster so I can enjoy. I was watching. No, we weren't watching anything. I was sitting upstairs playing a game, and wherever I play my games is like right by. We have this little desk for Alice, and she has a poster from Highlights. Remember, you old heads remember Highlights magazine, and it's a poster, and they get workbooks, and when the child completes a chapter or a whole book, they get a sticker, and they put a sticker on the poster, and it's a whole thing, right? Well, the poster is of these different animals on this just big giant roller coaster. Right. And they're at different stages of the roller coaster or whatever. And she looks at the poster and she's like, one day I would like to go to one of these. She points out, I'm like, you mean a roller coaster? She goes, yeah. I'm like, you've been on one. Did I like it? Oh, yeah. You loved them. It's Casey Jr., whatever. But she's like looking and like, some of the animals are like yelling. Some are holding on. Some have their hands up. And she goes, but I don't want to put my hands up to enjoy the ride. like, you don't have to, honey. But do I have to do it to make it go? No. What is wrong with you?
It's so funny, like that she doesn't know that, and like thinking about taking a trip to Disneyland, which I've been thinking about a lot.
Of course,
and her at this age, she is going to absolutely hate the Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, she will hate. Honestly, I think she will hate a lot of things that she liked as a baby because her brain wasn't developed to process it fully. Yeah.
She's going to hate pirates. She's going to hate Haunted Mansion. Like this is why Fantasyland exists. Because she will hate everything else.
And Toontown.
And Toontown.
And the hotel.
And the pool.
Yeah, right, yeah, basically. Let's do some Disney news, Taryn, and then we're going to get out of here.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm off the microphone like a schlub.
Like a noob?
Yeah, I'm a big noob right now, man. Sorry.
Wow, all of the pictures behind you are like straight.
Yeah, I know.
It's very impressive.
I sit there and I go, how do I fix this?
Yeah, it's
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the EarzUp Disney News.
Bump. All right. I love articles like this. This is 9 things you should never, ever do at Disney.
okay.
And I want to see if we've done them before.
Of course we have.
Yeah.
Actually, we probably haven't because we're pretty good Disney goers.
This is true. You know what? And true to form, I have no idea what these 9 things are. I have no idea. Don't care. Just the headline alone is like, I know this is going to be good to talk about.
Okay.
Number 1, take on-ride photos or videos, especially with the flash on.
Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah, do not do that.
Well, so here's the thing. Taking on-ride photos or videos, I don't care about that. Just don't do the flash.
Well, yeah.
And don't get in my way. The flash, like, especially with a flash on, shouldn't be there. Do not take on-ride photos or videos with the flash on.
I mean, yes, but it is kind of annoying if somebody's like filming the whole ride. But also, you know what? That's been going on since like the 80s.
I know for sure. I mean,
like,
my dad has I have videotape of me at Disneyland in the 80s with my dad. That's how home movies. This is home movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's fine.
But still, it's a little annoying.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, for me, it's the flash, especially on pirates.
Mm-hmm.
People love doing that. And I don't know why.
You're not going to get a good picture.
No. And you know what's funny? In my childhood photo album, I have flash photography pictures of pirates. So my dad was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And that doesn't surprise anybody who knows him. Number 2 is get off the ride when you aren't supposed to. Yeah, no, come on, dude, whatever. It's like saying don't get out of the car when you're going highway speed.
Yeah, that doesn't even make...
Number 3, get into an altercation with cast members or other guests. Stop, dude. I mean, number 4, don't, dookie on Main Street right in the middle of it and blame it on the horse. Number 5, don't roundhouse kick a horse like you're Chuck Norris. Please don't do that. Number 6, don't light the horses on fire.
Don't swim in the rivers of America.
Yeah, right.
This list is already really bad.
You're right. Yeah, don't punch Bob Iger in the face. And say that's for Chapek.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Please don't do that. Break the dress code to get a free shirt. Leave valuables in your stroller. Treat cast members rudely. Spend money on things you can get outside the parks for cheaper. Put your kid on your shoulders during fireworks. That's the only valid one there. Whatever. It's a stupid article.
Kids can't see unless you do that.
But the people behind you can't see if you do that. So you then get a better seat. I don't know.
Yeah, but if the people behind you are 24...
Are you a shoulder during the parade person?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have words.
Yeah, because...
But you can't see either.
I know.
You're the same height as our daughter.
That's almost true.
Yeah.
I understand that. But for me, I am I was going to say 34. That's just like what came to mind. And that's not true at all.
You think you're 34 still? Woof.
Last time I was at Disneyland, I was 34. No, but I'm an adult and I've seen fireworks before. I would rather a small child be able to see the fireworks in the castle.
Here's the thing about the fireworks. They go up.
I know, but it's
in
also
the air.
But it's not just that anymore because it's all the stuff that's on the
Then
castle.
get up closer. Get a better view. I'm sorry, that's the rules. Or, pick them up and hold them. They can see just as well at your eye level as they can on your shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it goes. All right, here's some good news, everybody. If you guys want to hear some good news, this is it.
Always.
Yeah. Florida governor gains control over Disney District Board. Florida lawmakers on Friday, which is today, granted Governor Ron DeSantis effective control over the board that oversees development in and around Walt Disney. State Republicans targeted Disney after it publicly clashed with DeSantis last year. We all know that. Legislators in Florida gave final approval on a bill Friday authorizing the governor to appoint 5 supervisors to run what is now known as the Reedy Creek Improvement District. The state Senate will confirm board members, and the board will have no role in day-to-day operations of the theme parks. DeSantis' spokesperson Brian Griffin said the prior system, under which Florida legislature in 1967 gave Disney sole control, lacked accountability. He says Florida is beginning a new era of accountability and transparency. What accountability? The accountability has nothing to do with anything else outside of running the theme parks. So what do you need accountability for, you doof? That's weird to me.
Yeah.
The legislature voted last year to dissolve the special district. The action seen as retaliation for Disney's then chief executive officer, Bob Chapek, speaking out against the state law limiting classroom discussions of LGBTQ issues came with unintended consequences. This was going to happen regardless of that. I mean, whatever. I mean, Chapek did, sort of drop the bag on that, but whatever.
I don't know if this was going to happen regardless. They
happen.
weren't even talking about this until all of that went down.
It was going to happen. The new bill preserves the Reedy Creek Special District, though within 2 years it will be renamed Central Florida Tourism Oversight District.
Yeah.
Even though it has nothing to do with anything else but Disney stuff, it's Tourism Oversight District. Got it. Cool name.
Were you being facetious when you said this was good news?
Yes.
Okay, because this is not.
It will have the authority to collect revenue, pay off debt, and provide a range of government services. The district is prohibited from operating its own airport or building nuclear power plants. That's one of the things that was outlined in the Reedy Creek, bylaws or whatever in the 60s, but it's like
they weren't going to do it.
They weren't going to do it anyway.
But what it does change is tax laws, and it changes I think their ability to do what they want with maintenance and power and things like that.
Yeah, part of Reedy Creek, why it worked first so well for Disney World, is that they can get things approved faster.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to go through all the muck, and now suddenly that's a bad thing. Okay, whatever. It's the state's largest employer, but let's go ahead and just handcuff them a little bit more. Yeah, well, that's what. And never mind, I'm not going to get political on it. The legislation also expressly bars anyone with ties to the theme parks over the past 3 years from serving on the board. I mean, I don't see this as an issue. It's not a bank. We're not trading stocks. Who cares? I would want somebody who worked for the theme parks on the board of the thing governing how the theme parks legislate themselves. Well, or not legislate, but you know what I mean? Control themselves.
That's what the retaliation. That's why this is retaliation, is because rules like that.
The state Senate debated the bill for about an hour on Friday with a handful of lawmakers voicing opposition. Quote, "This all seems a retaliation by the governor for Disney voicing its support for the LGBTQ community," said Senator Linda Stewart, a Democrat who represents Orange County. So there you go. So there were some people pushing back a little bit, but Reedy Creek will soon be no more, and DeSantis is getting his way. Although I just don't see it being as big of an issue as the political win for DeSantis is. Mm-hmm. I don't know obviously the inner workings of Reedy Creek, but I don't see it as being as much of a hindrance to Disney's operations as it is in theory.
Okay.
You know what I mean? DeSantis well, we took Reedy Creek back, bruh. But I would be shocked if this is such a giant spanner in the gears of how Disney World operates.
Well, yeah, and I guess the good news for Disney is that their parks are already built. I mean, you
but
know,
they do want to expand.
Yeah.
They do want to do other stuff. And this is,
harder now.
It's going to be harder. Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to cost more money. And
well, speaking of costing money, this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Bob Iger's cost-cutting restructuring plan for Disney wins over Wall Street. So the they had the earnings call. It was Iger's first earnings call on his, his triumphant return.
Okay.
Yeah. Most analysts liked what they heard and saw on February 8th in the earnings call and gave a thumbs up to Disney's new priorities under Iger, including a focus on making the Hollywood giant's streaming business profitable. Well, okay, that was a focus under Chapek too. So it's not like it's like a whole new, wow, you want to make this profitable? Oh, I'm so glad you came back, because the other guy doesn't want to do that. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to keep losing money. In fact, he wanted to lose more money.
But not everything has to be Chapek versus Iger.
Tell that to the Hollywood Reporter. He said Disney's new priorities, including a focus on making streaming profitable. You know what I mean? That sort of definitely kind of 100% reads like Chapek just had his own head up his, rectum. And Iger was like, how can we make money? And Disney shares, which have traded between $84 and $157 over the past year, jumped in Thursday pre-market trading, gaining 3.7%. It's all stock stuff. I don't care about it. I really don't care about it.
3.7%. Great.
Yeah, well, and it's like some dude upped his maintaining his buy rating, and like just don't care.
I don't even know what that means.
Bank of America's Jessica Rafe-Erlich reiterated a buy rating with a target of $135 a share, noting while we are encouraged by Bob Iger's strategic vision for Disney, this is clearly the first phase in Disney transformation, which will require adept execution. Bob Iger has a long, strong track record, which provides confidence he will manage this transition for Disney. Words.
Yeah, just words.
What does that mean? None of this makes any sense.
Maybe it was written by AI.
I hope so. Wow, this whole article is literally just about on stocks, but whatever, who cares? I was hoping it'd be a little bit more about the actual earnings call, but yeah. This guy says Iger was shooting straight on Disney's streaming strategy. He says, quote, "It was refreshing to acknowledge that the company had chased subscriber growth at all costs and needed to show much greater discipline about pricing strategies, local market entrances, and content investment. The acknowledgement that Disney has raised pricing on Disney Plus but has experienced modest churn confirms our view that this product is best viewed as a super fan platform."
What?
What else is Disney Plus going to be? I mean, you know what I mean? You're not just going to be like, well, it's Disney Plus, but I rarely watch it. That's just the stupidest thing to say, dude.
I don't even understand the sentence because unless I heard it wrong, but like, I don't get it.
I don't know, man. Part of my brain's lack of absorption for numbers is also like stock market jargon and Wall Street jargon and stuff like that, like investor, whatever. So I don't know, man. I read the things. The experienced modest churn. Okay. I mean, I can surmise what that means, but
I don't understand the super fan part. Like Disney, they're saying Disney Plus is for super fans.
I think what he's saying is that the pretty modest loss of subscriber bases of subscribers sort of maintains the fact that like people might come and go, but it's mostly the super fans who are definitely going to be in on Disney Plus. So they have to focus more on curating content, but not spending so much money on content, which is all things that everybody knows. We've already known this.
Well, and also I think that's
Chapek's already said this.
I think it's just false.
I think it's false too, because
I think the people who don't cancel Disney Plus are not super fans. They're people who forget that they have it.
Well, and I read like a lot of the loss that they're talking about was because like 2 million people in India like canceled for some reason. I didn't read too much about it, but it's like there's a reason behind it. And yeah, I don't know, man. I do feel that in order for people to get on board with Disney Plus, you do have to break away from traditional Disney programming. You are going to inherently have, I mean, this is the whole reason why it was created in the first place, because you have millions and millions of people who buy Disney content. Let's put it online. So you already have sort of like a built-in customer base.
Mm-hmm.
And how you grow that is you get other stuff on your channel that doesn't necessarily appeal to just those super fans. It appeals to the casuals. You know, jump in and out. I don't see really the problem with it. Let's get more content that it has a wider scope than just Disney super fans. Can you imagine if they're just producing content for people who are just absorbed with Mickey Mouse and that's it? No, it'd be boring. Come on.
I think they're also spending just in general too much money on their content because it's all Star Wars.
This guy, Tim Nolan, said that Bob Iger's return to Disney features a new strategic focus to restore profitability. How long is the tube between Tim's desk and Bob's desk where he's just blowing smoke? Like, this is insane. What an insane thing to say. Restore profitability. Whatever, dude. The analyst reiterated his outperform rating on the stock. Yeah, whatever. This article stinks.
I'm kind of over the stocks.
Yeah. Stonks.
It went up. Great.
To the moon, you guys.
And people like Iger more than Chapek. We already knew that.
Yeah, I know. All right, I got actually literally two more stories. One is called Disney World Union members reject contract offer. Unionized workers at Disney World have rejected a contract proposal from the company that would have given them at least $1 an hour raise each year over the 5-year life of the rejected offer. 32,000 Disney employees, members of 6 different unions, had been urged by their union's leadership to vote no. More than 14,000 votes were cast and 96% voted no. First of all, less than half of the union members even voted? That's like worse than national voting, man. Jeez. Come on, vote. What's wrong with you guys? But 96%.
Yeah. Well,
wow. I mean, that is it should be a slap in the face to Disney. Like, wow, we're not even close.
No, you're not even close.
No. Quote, I think the workers at Disney World have sent a loud message that $1 is not enough. The company needs to provide a meaningful wage increase that addresses the economic issues that workers are facing, said Matt Hollis, president of the Service Trades Council Union, a collection of unions that are negotiating with Disney management. Union negotiators are demanding an immediate $3 an hour raise, which would be about a 20% pay hike for the 75% of workers now earning $15 an hour. But yeah, sure, let's target Reedy Creek. You know what I mean? Let's pull a bunch of books from the libraries and sue librarians and school systems that don't pull these books about Hank Aaron. But, you know, it's fine. We have people living under the poverty wage. Who cares? The union and rank and file members say workers wouldn't be able to afford to live in Central Florida under the company's offer. The company, which had described its rejected contract proposal as a, quote, very strong offer, said that 46% of cast members would have gotten more than $1 an hour raise in the contract's first year. You know, yada, yada, yada. We are disappointed that those increases are now delayed, said Andrea Finger, a spokesperson for Disney. Delayed? No, not delayed. They got rejected. Minute Bowl over here slamming you. Get out of here, Andrea. Hollis said that management had agreed to return to the negotiation table, though no date for talks has been set. Unions have been represented workers at Disney World since soon after the park's 1971 opening, but the employees have never gone on strike, and the unions have yet to set a strike deadline or schedule a strike vote. I wonder if that's, you know, in the wings a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I would have to agree with the union on this because it's like a $1 increase over the 5 years. That may have
$1 a year over 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may have been fine 5 years ago.
That may have been fine 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
Even 5 years ago, though.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Now, absolutely not, because they haven't gotten proper raises, livable wages in so long that now it does need to be bumped up for $2-3 at least.
Well, and you know my excuse me, you know my stance on this, where you know the parks are making such money. The parks are the reason why, and we've mentioned this in shows before too, but I don't know if it was necessarily like implicitly stated that Disney would have gone out of business several times had it not been for certain actions in the world, like World War II. Mm-hmm. If World War II hadn't happened, Disney would have gone under, bankrupt. I mean, Walt has beaten bankruptcy several times in his life. He had. I think the theme parks were probably the smartest thing he had ever done, because they supply the company with a sort of a revolving door of fans. Mm-hmm. And I think that more people have nostalgia for the characters because of the parks, not because of the movies that they're in, especially the older characters. Maybe now the newer ones, the last 30 years, that's maybe not necessarily true. Mm-hmm. But when you think of Mickey Mouse, I don't think of a Mickey Mouse cartoon. I think of the theater on Main Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I think of Pluto, I think of Pluto in the suit walking around. Like totally. I you know what I mean? It's the parks.
Yeah.
And so without the parks, you wouldn't have this tie-in, this nostalgia as much, especially for the sort of younger generation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, you're 34, so
thank you.
But you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And I will say this until I can't speak anymore. Till my voice goes hoarse and I have to write it down. The employees at the parks deserve to make more money that is up to par with the expectation level mm-hmm. that the guests have for their trips.
Yeah.
Every time you read an article about upset Disney fans, they're always upset because they had a bad experience at the parks.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. They're never about, I had a bad experience at this movie.
Right.
Or this Disney cruise or whatever. It's never about that. It's always the parks. The parks are always written about. Mm-hmm. They are the forefront of the Disney sort of like, I don't know, brainwashing or whatever you want to say. And then you read stuff like this. Disney reported that its parks, experiences, and products unit, which includes Disney World and other parks locations worldwide, had a revenue of $7.4 billion with an operating income of $1.5 billion in fiscal year 22. Revenue was up 36% and profits more than doubled from the previous fiscal year. I mean, I know that's COVID, but also $7.4 billion, and you're saying, oh, it's really disappointing that your $1 a year raise will now be delayed.
Right.
Which is not a concession at all, which is saying, well, you're just hurting yourself. This hurts mm-hmm. you more than me.
Yep.
But whatever.
Yep.
It's obnoxious. And, people, I don't know. People like to complain about us complaining a whole lot. And I don't care anymore. I mean, I don't really care anyway, but it bothers me, I think, how a lot of Disney podcasts and bloggers and Disney fans in general, I shouldn't even call it the media side, but just Disney fans in general don't care about this stuff. Yep. I think it's really important to care about the cast members and the employees that are bringing these things that we enjoy, that we have childhood memories of enjoying, that we want to share with our families. Mm-hmm. For me, it's hard to wait in a line. And that these, people, literal people, right? They have families, they have troubles just like anybody else, have to set all that aside and stand there and answer your dumb questions.
Yeah.
And do it with a smile and be above and beyond what you set as your expectation. They have to. Mm-hmm. And they get paid not enough to deal with your garbage.
Right.
And it's sad. And I think that we should all be saying this. We should all be calling this out. There should be a lot more of a, sort of rallying cry around cast members. And I think that there is.
Well, yeah. And I think that at Disney specifically, it's a worse problem because what Disney has to their advantage is that people just want to work at Disneyland. They just want to work for a Disney park. They just want to be able to wear those costumes. And so it's a disadvantage to those people because, of course, they could go work somewhere else, but they don't want to. But they should be. I think
pre-COVID they could have. Now it's very hard. I've been trying to find a job for 3 years. It's hard.
But you're looking for kind of a specific thing. But sure. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the job industry. I'm just talking about they could go somewhere else if they wanted to. They could go to McDonald's, right? But they don't.
Probably.
But they want to work at Disney.
Yeah, and I think I wonder. You know what? I wonder how many employees at Disney look at Disney as a way to move up. Oh, I know Maddie did, and Brittany did. Brittany did other things, but Maddie moved her way up the ladder. You know, from working where she worked at Indy or whatever. But you know, I wonder if they're doing that to get the foot in the door to then progress through the company. But I wonder how many people just like work there out of nostalgia, and then how many people just work there. You know, I don't know. I feel like as much of a fan base as Disney has sort of built in with, you know, families, I wonder if it's that same fan base split, that Venn diagram of fans also includes the workers too. Like, okay, I'll take this terrible hard-boiled eggs in the cantina because I just love being in the parks. Or, okay, I'll take $15 an hour and I'll have to eat top ramen 4 days a week because I just love living the parks. It's like, I don't know, man. If we had, nationalized healthcare, I feel like these people could get therapy and help. To be like, break away from the cult. Break away from the people who hurt you the most.
Yeah.
Be around people who treat you well. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, last one. This is means nothing to me. This meant nothing to me when I announced it a while ago, this series starting on Disney+. But now that I've been playing the game Marvel Snap, which is the mobile game, newish mobile game.
Playing it or obsessing over it?
Just playing it now. Okay. I was obsessing over it a little bit more, but it's a fun game. It's a card game, and I'm actually really looking. It has me hyped for the Disney card game coming this year sometime, whatever. But anyway, Marvel Snap has a lot of really deep cuts for characters. And again, it's a free-to-play game. You can, pay money for it, but, you don't have to. But there's so many deep cuts of, like, Marvel characters. And this is the only way I know of this character, Moon Girl, from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So Moon Girl is a card in Marvel Snap. Devil Dinosaur is a card in Marvel Snap. But apparently they are just a Marvel, characters.
Okay.
Well, they are going to be having their show debuting on the Disney Channel on, let's see, February 10th on the Disney Channel and February 15th on Disney+. I would like to watch it as a cartoon, so that'd be cool. The series follows the adventures of 13-year-old super genius Lunella Lafayette, a.k.a. Moon Girl, and her 10-ton T-Rex Devil Dinosaur, whom she accidentally brings into present-day New York City. The duo works together to protect the Lower East Side neighborhood in New York City from danger. But apparently you can meet Moon Girl right now. Disney California Adventure guests can catch Moon Girl in a special one-day-only entertainment celebration, including a cavalcade, whatever the hell that is, on Hollywood Boulevard and a stage show on the Hollywood Backlot stage. Let's see. I think it's February 15th. I think on the premiere day of Disney Plus, she will be in Disney California Adventure, and you can check her out.
No one's going to know who they are.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong unless they're playing Marvel Snap.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So there you go. Huh. Marvel Snap is very fun. I enjoy it. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out if you're not, or ask your kids to install it on your Cricket phone or whatever.
You do play it a lot.
I do. It's fun. I mean, because the matches take like 30 seconds or 45 seconds and you're done. And it's like, oh, might as well do another one. Next thing you know, the sun's up. What are you going to do, man? All right. We're done, Taryn.
All right.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
It was good. Tom, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it since I can talk directly to you because I know that you're going to listen to it. Hopefully Bev gets better soon. Hopefully, whatever his name is gets better soon. Eric, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And normally Jeremy really wanted to be here, but like I said, he's at a wedding, probably embarrassing himself on the dance floor right now.
Currently, absolutely, definitely getting there. At least
I told him, I was like, you should call in. He's like, oh my god, I should. And I purposely didn't give him the number because I don't know why. I thought that would be weird. For him. Yeah. I was protecting him.
Well, he's a guest at the wedding. So I
that's true. He's a +1 of the person's wedding.
And I feel like maybe he shouldn't be
that's true.
Taking off to make a call.
Well, what else are you going to do at a wedding, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, who cares?
Who knows what Jeremy does at weddings?
Yeah, that's true. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate it. Please go buy Tom's new album, Even Villains Have a Soft Side. buy it. Don't stream it. Just buy it. Buy it for Tom. Help the independent artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you in the parks.